All right, today we're diving into something, well, a little unexpected. We're looking at where expertise is being sold now. And I'm not talking about university bookstores. I'm talking about complex guides on things like neuroscience or even ICU protocols being sold as simple, affordable digital downloads. And they're for everyone, from students to total pros. So let's get into it. Okay, so let me ask you, where would you go to learn about the human brain? You're probably thinking, a textbook, a university course, but what about Etsy? Yeah, you heard me right. The same place you'd buy handmade jewelry or a vintage sweater is becoming a new kind of classroom. So why? Why is this happening? Well, it's not just some random fluke. This whole trend is actually a pretty clever answer to a really big problem: how hard it can be to get your hands on specialized information. I mean, think about it. Usually, this kind of high-level knowledge is basically locked away, right? It's behind expensive university paywalls, buried in these super dense, super costly textbooks, or you have to take these long professional development courses that cost a ton of time and money. The whole path to learning is just complicated and slow. And it's that friction, that big gap between needing the knowledge and actually getting it. That's exactly where this new model comes in and just thrives. You've got creators jumping in to fill that void, putting out these super accessible resources on platforms designed for exactly this kind of thing. Let's look at a perfect example of this in action. Okay, let's really break this down. We're going to look at one specific product that basically tells the entire story. It's a simple digital download, but it's become this incredibly valuable tool for a pretty surprising group of people. So this is it. It's not a textbook. It's not some online course. It's a digital file that you can just buy on Etsy. The shop is called The Printable Plus, and what they've done is create these info sheets to demystify one of the most complex things in the entire universe: the human brain. And the format here is absolutely key. This isn't something that gets mailed to you. Nope. It's a 14-page PDF delivered instantly as a zip file. You get full color diagrams, black and white versions to make printing easy. You get everything you need, like right now. No shipping, no waiting, just click and it's yours. So what does a comprehensive bundle on brain regions cost? Get this, £5.65. Now, just for a second, compare that to a typical neuroscience textbook. We're talking easily over £100, maybe more. This isn't just about making knowledge available, it's about making it radically affordable. So you've got to wonder, who's actually buying a £5 brain guide on Etsy? Your first guess might be, curious hobbyists, maybe students cramming for a test. And yeah, probably some of them are, but the product description tells a very different story. So if you look at the listing, it's packed with professional terms, but one word really jumps out: psychoeducation. Now, that's not just a fancy word for learning something for yourself. It's a specific term for tools that professionals, like therapists, use to educate their clients and patients. And that right there is a huge clue about who this is really for. And yep, the listing just spells it right out. It says this bundle is for educators, mental health professionals, trauma therapists, psychologists, even nurses, and homeschoolers. We're talking about highly trained professionals who need accurate, reliable info for their actual day-to-day jobs. So this little PDF, it's being sold as a legitimate professional tool. Okay, but that's what the seller says. Does it actually hold up? Are real-life professionals actually using these things? Well, to figure that out, we have to look at the reviews, the social proof. That's what tells us what's really going on here. All right, first thing to notice, this isn't some niche item with just a few sales. The shop has 196 reviews. Now that points to a pretty significant number of actual purchases. So yeah, people are definitely buying and using these materials. And the feedback is really specific. Take this one from Jaime, who calls it a perfect educational material quick reference. Now that phrase right there, quick reference, that is music to the ears of any busy professional. They need something clear, concise, and useful right now, without having to dig through a giant textbook. But then you get this review from Sarah, and honestly, this one is just incredible. She says it helped her so much, and she's not a student. She's an experienced nurse moving down to the ICU, the intensive care unit. I mean, that's one of the most high-stakes, demanding environments in all of medicine, and a £5 Etsy download is helping a professional in that critical care setting. Just wow. So when you take a step back and put all these pieces together, it's pretty clear this isn't just about one cool PDF. This single Etsy listing, it's like a little window into a much bigger shift in how we access and share expertise. Let's just put them side by side. On one hand, you have the traditional model, right? It's expensive, it's gate-cut by big institutions, it's super slow to update, and it's all very formal. But this new kind of Etsy-fied model, it's the total opposite. It's affordable, it's instant, it's so nimble, a creator can update it in an afternoon, and it's peer-reviewed, not by academics in an office, but by the actual professionals using it in the field. And all of this kind of brings us to one last big, thought-provoking question. As platforms like Etsy completely democratize access to this kind of specialized knowledge, the old lines start to get a little blurry. It really forces us to ask a pretty fundamental question about what comes next for learning, for professionalism. When expertise is literally just a download away, what does it even mean to be an expert anymore?